Good morning, everybody. My name is Jody. My husband David John and I have a small farm in the panhandle of North Idaho. These are stories and adventures, so welcome to Moose Flats Farm. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And today we're out in the 99% remodeled seed shed. I'm going to go through, show you some of the things that we have done to finish this off. And no, a lot of the stuff is not necessary, but because the plants don't care. They would have been fine with the OSB without being painted, or the trim around the windows, but it's one of those, it's a place I'm going to be in, and I want it to be nice because then I'm going to be more willing to be up here working in it. So kind of take you through what it looks like now. So over here we just have the trim around the door to do. I have added a shelf above the door to hold some of the trays. Got my little shelf there for my books and labels. The new desk, which will be nice for doing seed starting. And it is open underneath, so I can do some storage. The garbage can that's full of potting mix. Got my seed starting tote full of soil for starting seeds. Got the palm over here. Just kind of rearranged this stuff, and that's one of those old-fashioned crank clocks. It doesn't run on batteries. It's just every 31 days you got to go through and wind it up, and it just tick-tocks, makes a little bit of noise in here. Over here I have added the 2 shelves for holding pots, and I have gotten the germination table watered and plugged in. So let's go through and explain this a little bit. So we have heat cables in here, about 300 pounds of silica sand and about 15 gallons of water. And what that does is, the sand is a good clean medium for the cables to be in, and the water just helps the wires from not burning out. In the construction of it, we've got 2 layers of heavy-duty plastic. Go down here, a sheet of OSB for the floor, and there is a thick batch of the rigid insulation. And I can fit 12 plant trays. Kind of like that on there. Did go through and trim out around it. Have the lights mounted. My big palm. Have those 2 shelves there. And I did this year go all black metal shelving. And even though the plastic shelving works great, the only issue I have with the plastic shelving is it's not adjustable, where this one I can adjust the height, so when we get to the point of hanging the lights here, I'm able to move them up and down a lot more efficiently than on the plastic ones that I only had so much space for the lights. And we did wind up going through and covering the ridge beam with some wood just to finish it off. And over here our heater is a propane Mr. Heater. And then just a little bit of fun garden whimsy on the wall there. So for the next step, before we can really start seeds, we've got to grab our seed starting trays and take them down to the house and get them cleaned out and sanitized, and I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll go discuss seeds. Okay, so I've gone through and banged all the loose dirt and everything out of my trays, and they're just going to go into the sink with some bleach in the hot water. We'll let them soak about 15-20 minutes, and all that does is if there is any fungal growth or any disease or anything in these trays, it will sterilize them, so they'll be good to start seeds here in the next day or two. So I'm going to get these in the bleach water, and then we'll go into the office and look at the seeds. So this time of year you get inundated with magazines, or as I am right now, my email inbox is just loaded from all these different seed companies advertising to come purchase from them. So there's lots of different places. So you've got like the magazines, you've got online, you've got big box stores, local stores that sell seeds, all different places you can order from. It's like, because I've ordered from Stark Brothers, M.I. Gardner, Baker Creek. And this year I'm not going to be ordering any seeds online. What seeds I need to get to refill or to add new stuff, I am going to be buying locally. So kind of go through what I have already purchased, and just see where I've got any major holes that I need to get filled. So let's look at what I have for a seed collection. And I do, as you see, have the 3 shelves of seeds. And I've got all of my seeds in these plastic photo boxes. I like them because I can go through and put a label on them. They stack nice and neat. They're easy to move around, and for the most part they keep the seeds protected from moisture. So starting over here, I've got my broccoli, lettuce, spinach, pak choy, and Swiss chard. It's mainly, and this year mainly, what I'm going to be planting is stuff I know for sure we're going to be eating. It's like every year I plant lots of basil. I don't cook with basil. I mean, it's a pretty plant and everything, but it's just taking up space in the garden for something that I could be planting that we will be eating. So I'm not gonna waste time and effort into something that I don't know how to use culinarily wise, so I'm not even gonna worry about planting it. But the broccoli, we've got the Sun King hybrid, purple early sprouting, and then what's this one? The Willamette. And those are just the 3 typical broccolis. I probably will be getting more broccoli seed just to replenish what I will be using up this year. We'll be planting a little bit of lettuce in the hoop house, but the one that I'm really excited about, because the first year that I really did the brassicas and I did them in the ground, they are cabbages. We got some decent heads of cabbage. They didn't do that great in the hoop house. I think it just got too hot for them too early. But we'll be doing the Golden Acre cabbage. It gets a nice good head. The Flat Lake Dutch, and then an Italian skinnier cabbage. I don't know how to pronounce it. But as we're going through and planting these, I'll tell you a little bit more about them. We'll be doing the cauliflowers also. So we've got the amazing Snowball and Roper. I've got quite a few seeds of those, and this is the only way I like cauliflower, is if it's out of my garden for whatever reason. And then the thing I love to plant in my garden and have not been able to the last couple of years because, and this is where saying that you're completely organic can get you in trouble, in the aspect that you have to be willing to share your food with the bugs. And I got some organic pea seeds one year, and unfortunately, I don't know if it's circumstances or it just happened at the same time, but we got the pea weevil infestation, and so still have seen them around. So I tried growing them in the hoop house last year, but it was just too hot and they just didn't do good. I'm still debating whether I want to do peas outside again, because I know I'll have to deal with the pea weevil, and I don't want to spray because I like just going up there to snack on the peas. So I don't know, I'm still up in the air, but I do have the DeGrace pea, Mammoth Melting Sugar Pea, Little Marvel, and Sugar Daddy. I don't know. I may try. We'll see. And then we've got the typical mix of radishes that we'll be growing. And then several different types of carrots and beets. And even though I've got all, it's like, in this one thing I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 packages of beet seeds. And here in a minute I'll show you what I bought to try with the beets. So definitely we'll have lots of beets going in to make pickled beets. And then we come over here, we've got a whole bunch of different herbs here. We've got oregano, catnip, onion seeds, thyme, onion, cilantro, dill, and then the basils. Not really going to be planting heavy on the herbs, because other than rosemary, because I've got the 2 or 3 big oregano clumps. I know I can cook with oregano and thyme, but basil I don't use. And then over here we've got our cucumbers, and last year I planted these straight in the ground without starting them from seed, and I did get quite a few small to medium-sized cucumbers, so definitely going to be doing that again, because it proved that I could grow cucumbers. And then we go into our beans. We'll start with our dry beans. And I did pick up last fall the Silver Cloud Cantellini. Nowhere near Italian am I. Bean, it's a white dry bean, and then the Panther Edamame soybean, just because I've seen these in the dried snack mixes, so I thought it would be fun to give those a shot. But then we've got, still have some of the Jacob's cattle bean. That's all I have for the dry beans. I will be getting more, or no. But then we've got our just green beans. We've got the runner and the bush style. I'm going to skip this one for a minute. And then over here we have our different squashes, our winter and summer squashes. And then down below, I've got some sunflowers, and you probably can't see. So down here is my couple of sunflowers, my tomatoes, and we'll go over all these varieties when we are planting them. And then my 2 stacks of peppers, and lots of varieties, so we'll be talking about those when we are starting to grow them. And I do have from Saved Seed, these are pole beans. And I have this labeled green beans, green bush beans, but some of these look like dry beans, so we'll have to just look. Thought I'd been careful when I was collecting these, but I might have got them mixed up. And then as far as corn, I have the red corn that I have saved, and then the blue Montana corn. And because last year I didn't have that good of germination, I will be proofing these before I go to plant, and when we get ready here in a couple months to do corn, I'll be showing you guys that. But what I'm going to be starting here in the next couple days is going to start with a round of flowers before I start the brassicas, just because, just like in the seed shed, if you don't make your garden interesting, a place you want to be in, it has a tendency to get weedy, get overgrown, and then you just throw your hands up because it's really hard once the garden has gone completely wild to rein it back in. So that's why, like, we add the cattle panels and the arches just to give visual structure. And I have my spots that have flowers, the perennial spots, the rose bushes, the cyclamen, or not cyclamen, the clematis, and the honeysuckle that I planted, and the yellow trumpet vine I planted last year. Just to make, I mean, a green garden can be lovely in its own way, but just adding flowers, it brings visual interest, makes you want to be in there, and it brings in a lot of pollinators that will help pollinate your vegetables, the ones that are blooming, like your tomatoes and your peppers and your squashes and everything. So it just works back and forth, because one of my mentors, she's always saying the best medicine for the garden is the gardener, and if the gardener doesn't want to be in the garden suffers. So this pile right here, get it out. And these are the personal melons and everything, and those will be planted much later. But to start, we are going to be, like I said, doing flowers. So I've got some pansies and violas, the rosemary, and I am going to be getting more rosemary seed to try to get it going, and probably some different pansy flower mix, because what do I have in here? Because I pretty much just have a basic mix of the pansies, and some of these are a little older seed, so we'll be checking those guys out. And I am going to be, I've got the, I think it's only, what do I have? So I have a couple dianthus. I've got the black and white, the black boy, and then this one is just an artisan bachelor button that, oh no, this one's dianthus, and these ones are bachelor buttons. They kind of look the same. So going to be getting some of those started, and these flowers are mostly Yeti, don't knock over the camera, are just for us for planting around in all our flower boxes. I still have some balcony mix petunias. Got marigolds, going to be planting a bunch of marigolds to be, because they're really good in the garden as insect deterrers. So we'll get a bunch of those started. Got three different types, right? Yeah. 3 different types of snapdragons. We'll be looking to get some more colors in the snapdragons. I've got moss rose seeds that I collected that I'm going to try this year. And I'm going to try the milkweed seed again. It really didn't do anything last year, but I still have some seeds, so I'm going to give that a shot. And then the other herb that I am going to be starting early again is the stevia, and it's basically like a sugar substitute. So I've got the seeds. I like it, so I'm gonna try that. So this is going to be our first round of seeds that we're starting. Sorry guys, I had to get up off the floor. It was killing my knees. But I did the other day stop at David John's work and just pick up some random seeds, and so show you what I got. So I did get even though I already have some beets, I did get some that are on a seed tape, just so, because I've tried doing a homemade seed tape with carrots and it really didn't work out, so I just wanted to give this a shot. And the funny thing is, you see right there where it says non-GMO, none of the seeds that we can buy at the grocery store, big box store, from a magazine, from the internet, none of them are going to be GMO seeds. You have to have a specific license to buy GMO seeds. The average consumer cannot get GMO seeds. So it's just a marketing ploy. But it works on most people. And I got the Scarlet Nanettes. Yeah, Nanettes carrots on a seed tape. Even though my carrots did pretty good last year, I thought it'd be fun to try them on the seed tape, and should be spaced out a little better than hand sprinkling into the ground. Okay, so what do we have here? So this was just a splurge pickup, but we got early golden acre cabbage, which I have some older seeds, so this is going to just be a replacement. 2 different companies. One of them is from Livingston and the other is a Ferry Morris seed. Sunflowers. And then I got more cauliflower Snowball X from Ferry Morris. I got broccoli di Cisco from Ferry Morris. A Ferry Morris dark green summer squash. Tender green, cucumber, pumpkins, cabbage, pumpkins. Some more yellow summer squash. And then I got, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. It is another green. It is a green and white striped summer squash, which I thought would be really pretty. Give a little different color to zucchini dishes. And then we got some pumpkins. So I did pick up one. Oh, and I got a cucumber national pickling. I picked up a package of Big Mac's pumpkins. So these are where we're going to be planting these pumpkins, is between the goose and the turkey hoop house in that run there. So I've got the Big Mac's pumpkin. I've got the mini harvest pumpkin. Early sugar or just a pie pumpkin, and then a jack-o'-lantern style pumpkin. Just some fun pumpkins to try out. And then I bought some flower seeds, because you can never have enough. So I picked up 2 more types of marigolds. We got the Jolly Jester and the Queen Sophia. Got 2 packages of each of those. This really pretty cosmos. So, shouldn't be throwing them over there. And then more sunflowers. So we got the Moon Shadow, Stella, Ruby Eclipse, Topolino. This one's a shortest variety of sunflower, grows anywhere, can be grown in a pot on your deck or in the garden. Garden tip may be grown indoors with adequate light and heat. This guy only gets like 2 feet tall. He's going to be a cute little one to have in the garden. And then the opposite is the Mammoth Russian. He can get about 10 feet tall. So that's the few seeds that I just picked up on a splurge. Just need to probably just get some more broccoli and the cauliflower, just so that I have them for next year. So let's go out and finish cleaning those seed trays so we can start getting stuff planted. Okay, so as we were talking about the seeds, these guys have just been soaking in the bleach water. So I'll just go through, make sure that there's no really any residue of potting mix in here. Kind of get them good and swished around and clean. And then they'll go on the towel to air dry. Well, now that I've got these trays ready to get planted, because this is what I'm going to be starting the flowers in, this is where I'm going to end today's video. I hope you guys have a good day and a good week, and next time I see you guys, we should be planting flowers. So, talk to you later. Bye for now.